short. Our series main partner Land Rover and your destination New South Wales. Here we are in Sydney. I've been involved in this event for the last 9 years, and we've always talked about coming to Australia. The event is all based on sailing in iconic cities, and for me, being Australian, there's nothing more iconic than Sydney Harbour, the bridge, the Opera House. And I promised the team that there'd be sunshine and strong winds and a great backdrop, and here we are waiting for the sun to pop out. But before we get on to the main event, I'm going to kickstart things by inviting Martin Salter to come up here and give us a little bit of a chat about the M32 class and their involvement here over the next few days for the Extreme Sailing Series. So Martin, hand over.
Well, thank you. My name is Martin Soto, and I am the commercial director of the M32 series. And we are today having a press conference where we're actually announcing our program for the next year here. So we're really, really thankful for the Extreme Sailing Series to invite us here. It's been awesome to be able to put the boat up against the Extreme 40s yesterday, and we'll hear more about from Andy Terrell on that later on. But before I go into what the M32 series are, I'd like to just give you a film and give you a taste of the M32 racing from last year.
8 to 14 knots, it was superb conditions. Let's hear from the skippers direct. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1.
So the M32 is a 32-foot catamaran, and 2 years ago when Freddie Loof had just finished the London Olympics as Olympic champion, he came back and came to his house in Garda, and he just went on the M32 that is constructed by Göran Marström and Corey. And he said, this is probably the most fun boat I've ever raced. It's so simple, it's so easy, but it's so fast and so vibrant. So he went into discussion with his financial backer, Mr. Håkan Svensson, that backed the Puma Challenge for the Volvo Ocean Race and the Green Dragon Challenge as well. And this ended up in him buying 5 boats. And we did a testing run in Scandinavia for 2 seasons. So last season was the season when we did the full-on M32 Cup that some of you might have heard of. So this series that we had became quite big success in Scandinavia, and right now it's become the stepping stone into professional racing for quite a few sailors out there. So the boat itself is, as I said, 32 foot long, and it's completely baked in an autoclave, which gives it a very, very strong construction, but it's also extremely light. It only weighs 500 kilos. And for everyone who saw it yesterday out on the water, it's quite quick, especially on the downwinds where it zooms away. So this boat, we're building a facility in Sweden where right now we have about 20 boats built in the world. So already next year we will provide the world with 65 more M32s to the world, and this facility will be able to churn out over 200 boats in a year within about 18 months here. So it's an absolutely fantastic boat because it's so quickly to work with. It takes about 2 hours to put together with an experienced crew. So you put it on a trailer, you hook it up to your car, and you just drive it wherever. Or if you want to put it in a container, you can fit 2 boats in one container, and it takes you 2 hours to put it together, and you'll be out racing for that. So what is our aim, and what are we actually coming out with today? Well, our aim is to create multiple professional regional sailing series. We've seen that there is a quite big void in the market where most of the professional series or most of the professional racing is on a global scale. And this gives quite big budgets. It's also actually quite hard to get sponsorship for teams that want to go into sailing on a global level. So what we're doing is that we are providing a regional series where this could actually create a stepping stone towards more professional sailing. In Scandinavia currently we have about 25 teams that are looking to try and get to the starting line, and some of them have this as a complement to their already existing campaigns in the America's Cup, in the Extreme Sailing Series, in the World Match Racing Tour, in the Volvo Ocean Race, or in IMOCAs. And during the coming weeks we will have quite a few announcements of teams that are actually joining the M32s on, that are more established sailors. But we also see a lot of young kids that can come together, and this is, if you take 2 or 3 guys that has run an Olympic campaign, well, if they go together they can fund the campaign for the M32 and quite easily make some money of it as well. So we see this as a stepping stone towards greatness. So in our, what we've identified is actually 30 regions in the world that could harbor an M32 series on a professional level with 5 events pretty much. And we are today announcing that already 2015 we will go into 7 new series from what we did last year. So we will have the Scandinavian series that will go to the destinations of Oslo, Gothenburg, Copenhagen, Stockholm, and Helsinki. We will have the Miami Winter Series, which will be a 4-event series in Miami. We will have a series in the European lakes, where we will go to Garda, Zurich, and we'll go to Bodensee. North America, we're talking San Francisco, Chicago, Long Island, New York, Boston, and Newport. And then we'll go to Iberia and to the UK as well. UK is more of a testing ground to go full out in 2016. So it's a quite ambitious program that we're venturing in on, and but we're absolutely going with local talent to run these. So what are the actual selling points or the cornerstones of how we're building the series if you compare it to going class racing or something which is different? Well, exposure is obviously key. So we've taken note of what the Extreme Sailing Series do, for example, and we will provide a great platform for exposure. We will have activation, or we will have hospitality, a great hospitality program with guest racing on board. The boat is 8 feet smaller than the Extreme 14, but it actually provides a really good platform for hospitality and the hospitality program. Obviously, activation is key to churning out a great event area, and then we will also do a massive launch on PR and media, and we're actually doing quite a big investment into a technology-based gadget that we call the Brain. And that's something that we will add to the boats. It will include onboard cameras, a new type of speed GPS together with accelerometers and gyros, and this will actually do the difference that we could actually go into tracking mode or go into direct mode with broadcasting and live broadcasting. So a huge venture into that, and we will actually go live streaming from 10 events next year. And our belief is that all business is local. It doesn't matter if you're a global company, in the end, the business that is made is actually local, and that's why we have a strong belief in these regional markets instead. And if we look to the cost of running a campaign, we're talking about 1/10 of running an extreme campaign, so it's a lot more affordable. So we're trying to perform a turnkey solution for everyone, and especially a platform for teams to be able to win over. So what we have today is that we have a boat here, and we have a team that is ready to take anyone out that would like to go out and test the boat and try it out. So if you're interested in that, you can come to Gabby at the far end here. And we are very, very happy to be able to do this announcement here, which for us is a substantial announcement.
Thanks, Martin. Now, having seen the content of Martin's presentation, I'll just provide a bit more of an explanation as to why Martin and his team are here. With the series winner, our 8th cycle, the America's Cup has really exposed multi-hull sailing on that world stage, and there has been a succession of interest in multi-hulls. This series, of course, is in its 8th season. It has been the pinnacle of global multi-hull racing with the best sailors in the world, etc. And it's, as the sport's emerging, we're always looking at our own event to see where we can improve and where we can evolve. And by introducing these guys into the event, it's almost, it's a situation of welcoming them into our circle to understand more from them and them from us. So thanks a lot, Nun, for your presentation. The boat's super exciting, the concept's great. There's a feeder into the Extreme Sailing Series and then onto the America's Cup. We're going to ask our series event director, Andy Terrell, to just come forward and explain a little bit more. We're in our final event of the series, as I said, for the year. And going into 2015, what do we expect from the Extreme Sailing Series?
Yeah, thanks Nick. Good morning everyone, welcome to the grand finale of the 2014 Extreme Sailing Series in Sydney. 2014 has seen some huge progressions for us as a circuit. One of the biggest achievements is hitting 2 huge new iconic venues in St. Petersburg and obviously Sydney, which is obviously one of the sailing capitals of the Southern Hemisphere. Going into 2015, the core concepts of the Extreme Sailing Series being the stadium racing, which we pioneered and which we do to a level that nobody else actually can deliver. So the stadium sailing is key for where we're going in the future, and that is something that won't be compromised, as is the commercial foundations of the event, delivering the B2B and the B2C objectives for all of our stakeholders. Developing the event for us is not about growing the number of boats on the circuit, because inevitably if you've got more boats on the circuit, you need a bigger patch of water. So it's maintaining the sporting integrity for our teams, whilst also hitting some new key markets for our partners as well. Obviously, there's with it being a mechanical sport, at some point in the future there will need to be a consideration of an evolution to the platform that we use to deliver the Extreme Sailing Series. The Extreme 40 is 100% the right tool for the job for the series that we deliver. In very tight confines, the decision making needed from the teams is second to none. The speed of the decisions that are needed. But as I say, at some point there will be an evolution. We've been monitoring that over the last 2 years, and we continue to consider all of the possible classes that are in existence at the moment. We engage with the GC32s in Nice, the M32s, bolstering the entertainment on the water, which is something that we're going to develop, is having events become more of a festival of sailing, so having other support events at all of our acts going forward as well. So as well as looking at all the other classes that are in existence, is considering and inviting proposals for a new custom boat. But as I say, the core elements of it, maintaining the commercial delivery in the guest sailor program and the number of days racing that we can deliver. The Extreme 40s, over 8 years, we've only lost 3 days of racing due to wind conditions because of the platform that the Extreme 40 is. So it's not just, there's many different angles that we need to consider in that evolutionary transition.
Well, to tell you, as a past competitor of the series, the crash and burn aspect associated with the event, the Extreme 40 has been an amazing platform. I think we've only written off one hull completely in Turkey a few years back, and the impact that these boats can take, and the excitement that they provide, and the actual aspect of being able to take a VIP guest on board is really unique. The stadium format is not going to be compromised. The boat may change, but one of the biggest things that we look at as an event is we go straight to the sailors. It's so important that the sailors have input into where the event evolves, what boats that they want to sail, because there are a lot of boats around the world in which these sailors can go and sail upon, but we need them to want to be in the Extreme Sailing Series. We want them to love sailing the boat that they race, and all looks good for 2015 and beyond.
Yeah, definitely. All of the jigsaw pieces are in place for 2015. We've got the circuit confirmed. We actually had the circuit confirmed back in August, as we promised it would be. So that will be announced later on in the coming weeks. So watch this space. It's going to be another great year.
So big thanks, Andy. So we're all now into proceedings for this Act 8, final act of 2014 here in Sydney. I'm going to invite the sailors up to the podium here and take their seats. So guys, if you can wander in, I'm going to introduce them not as a whole, but introduce them individually in a few minutes. But I love this stat. Amongst the teams competing here, the sailors have won 67 World Championship titles, 26 Olympic campaigns, and 114 World Championship titles as well. Between them, we'll ask them a few questions and you'll get a chance to meet and chat with the guys after the press conference. But an amazing array of people here. The best sailors in the world is what we promote, and I think you'd struggle to disagree. But before we ask the guys any questions, we'll give you a little video insight into the stadium format and why it has been so important for us to create it, firstly maintain it, and own it really. Well, the audio was a bit light for that video footage, but I'm sure you can tell it is exciting sailing. The boats are adrenaline-packed machines. There's a really intimidating bunch of people right next to me. We're going to start off by having a little chat with Nathan Woolmer. Local team, JSC Pindar, mostly Australians on board. Nathan, as you know, is a past Olympic champion. Mate, this is your home turf. How does it feel to be racing on such a stage in front of your friends and family?
Yeah, this is home for us. It's going to be great. Well, as long as it stops raining. And put on the weather for everyone, so welcome. No, I'm really excited about sailing here in Sydney in front of such an awesome backdrop in our home waters, and hopefully we get some really good crowds to come out and support us, and hopefully the sun comes out and we actually get some really exciting racing in here. So really looking forward to it.
So it's been can you sum up your year? It's been a long year. Can you sum up your year so far and what you're expecting from the performance aspect? And I'm going to ask all the guys this same question. How the year's been and what you're expecting out of Sydney?
Well, I can't talk for the beginning of the year. I wasn't on the boat, but since I've hopped on, it's been an interesting learning curve, quite a steep one. We've had some good results, some interesting results, some big crashes, some lots of things going on. Last regatta though was quite good, ended up 6th, so pretty happy with how we've been going, and hopefully we can build on that and do a little bit better here in our hometown and try and work our way up the leaderboard and have some good fun at the same time.
Terrific, mate. It's all about fun. Next up, I'm going to ask Morgan Larson. Do you know Morgan? Currently leading the series. Morgan, just talk us through the year. It has been a real battle with Lee and the team. So talk us through the year and what you're expecting or what you're actually hoping out of Sydney.
Seems like it's been 3 years battling with Lee. We've obviously got better of us the last couple, and this year, our team came together and had an awesome year. I actually got an email from Ernesto Bertorelli yesterday to the team and just addressing the success we've had in the season and how proud he is of our results so far. And he said just continue doing what you're doing and it'll all work out in the end. And he also touched on that we failed and didn't come away with the win, that he was still proud, but sort of reading between the lines, I think he said basically don't come back.
Next up, we've got match racing expert Phil Robertson, who is helming Team Gazprom this year. It's been an interesting year, mate. New team, a new challenge, really ahead of you. How's it been?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. The Gazprom Team Russia is a very young team. It's got a couple of young Russians on board who never sailed a cat before. I think one of them's just come straight out of the laser class. And that's been very good. I've learned a lot, and that's been the main point of the project, is to get in at year 1 and just learn as much as we can and take it from there and hopefully continue on in the future. And I've got a big program with a lot of different classes and boats, and they're doing very well internationally. So yeah, it's a good to be part of this team, and hopefully we can put a good result here and make it stick for next year.
And Sydney, final end of the season, all guns blazing?
Yeah, 100%. Bit of breeze will be a lot of fun, and we'll throw everything at it.
Well, it looks like you're going to get the breeze. Frank Camus, skipper of Group Armour Sailing Team, winner of the last edition of Volvo Ace amongst a whole array of sporting accolades in sport of sailing. The year's been pretty tough. You've had a few big crashes and a mixed bag of results. So talk us through your season and what you expect in Sydney.
For the season we are a little bit frustrated with our result, but the goal to be here is to create a team spirit with Team France and race with different crew. I think the goal is we have achieved this goal, but for us here we will say with no pressure, just have fun. I think we will be winner than we had this year. I'm very happy. It's first time for me in Australia, so it's a good time.
Welcome. Next we have Ben Ainsley, Sir Ben Ainsley, world champion, multiple Olympic champion, winner of the 34th America's Cup and skipper of JP Morgan there. Ben, it's been a really interesting year for you guys. You've had great results. It's been a big part of your big picture focus. How's it been? How's it worked out for you?
Yeah, it's been a really great season. I mean, we started off quite slowly coming in and trying to catch up with these more experienced teams in this type of boat and type of racing. And for us as a team to come together and try different roles, really get to grips with this challenge, which it really is. I mean, these are all fantastic teams, and you see the boats out there racing on such a tight course. It takes a while to get to grips with that. So we've enjoyed it a lot. It's been really valuable for us as a team, and we're looking forward to this final event in this beautiful venue.
We shot at the podium here in Sydney, so again, you're no stranger to any pressure, and I'm sure you're going to go out all guns blazing. Looking for the breeze?
Yeah, these boats are great in a bit of breeze, and we've seen, like you said, we've seen quite a few crashes through the season, and I imagine that this being the last event, people might be a little bit looser, so could be interesting.
Terrific. Well, currently in 8th place, and this guy needs no introduction, particularly here in Australia. Tom Slingsby, Olympic and America's Cup champion of late. His role with BMW Oracle was very, very significant and instrumental into their overall victory. Here in your Extreme 40 debut on home turf as skipper of Oman Air, what are you expecting?
Obviously, I'm not really expecting too much. As you see, there's such great teams here, and never sailing an Extreme 40 before, I'm not expecting too much. I think I'll be out the back a little bit. Yeah, some of the greatest sailors, Ben coming into the class, it took a while to find his feet, and now he's up at the top, but in the first few events it takes time. So I'm not expecting much. I'm just going to get out there, have some fun, and see how we go.
Terrific. Well, currently in 4th place, Jerome Clerks, skipper of the Swiss team, Real Team, 4th overall. You'll be fighting for that podium here in Sydney. You talk us through the year. You've been a victim of a few crashes as well yourself, and talk us through your season and what you're expecting.
Yeah, I think it was an amazing season for us. We are just 4 points behind the podium, so I think we have a great opportunity to do a terrific result. So we will say the hard to reach it goal.
Perfect. So our next skipper is very familiar with the waters here in Sydney. He won a gold medal in his last sailing venture down here in Australia. The Sydney Olympic Games, skipper of the Red Bull sailing team, Austria's most successful summer sports star with 2 gold medals, obviously the one of which he won here in Sydney. Sydney, fond memories for you, Roman?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we just here with the backdrop of the Sydney Opera. We had the prize giving right in front of the opera, and there are really good memories. And I think some nations were really surprised that even Austrians, where the cows are and not the kangaroos. So we still can sail in Austria. We have lake. It's not just skiing, and yeah, I mean that was the beginning of our great sailing career also. We won a 2nd gold medal in Athens, and now we're here in the Extreme Sailing Series back in Sydney. Very familiar, and I think we're looking forward for a great racing here in the harbour now.
The Roman's profile's obviously still lingering quite heavily here in Australia, and he's been asked to excuse himself for the remainder of the conference. So thanks, Roman.
Thank you.
The co-skipper of the Danish SAP Extreme Sailing Team, Jens Grave Hansen. I hope you're well in the mix for this battle. You're here to really deliver a great performance here in Sydney and show these guys can finish in really strong form.
Yeah, it's been a difficult year. I think it's been a difficult year for most of the teams. It's been up and down, and we know that we can sail very well, and we're definitely going to try and push hard here in Sydney. It's a fantastic place to sail. We have a strong team, and yeah, I think the race will be tough, and I hope in the end we can come up with a good result here.
Terrific. Well, next we go to Lee McMillan, and the skipper of, or the defending champion. It is a pretty tough situation. You're in 2nd place right now. It's all to play for. You know what it's like to stand on top of the podium in this series, and you know the Wade Muscat is a really well-known name in this Extreme Sailing Series. You're not going to let it go easy, are you?
No, we're not going to let it go easy. Like you say, we're in 2nd place. It's going to be quite a challenge for sure, but You know, it's great to be here in Sydney. I was just starting my sailing career when the Olympics was on here, so it's memories for me as well coming back here. But yeah, we're in a great position and in a tough position. We've had a fantastic season, not quite as good as Morgan's though, and you know, we'll do our best to correct that here, but we've got a steep hill ahead of us.
So how much do you think experience will play the role in the strength of the conditions? It's looking like it's going to be a windy next 48 hours at least, and you guys have traditionally performed really solidly in the big breeze. Do you think it's going to be to your advantage?
Not really. It's, you know, it's pretty touch and go in these conditions, and we're normally going out and just looking to keep the boat in one piece and keep everyone safe, you know, and when there's big gusts around and these boats are powerful and difficult to handle, you can't go out and you know, put a lot of pressure on yourself to get results. It's going to be too dangerous to do that. So, you know, we've got to be we've got to keep things under control and just see how it all pans out. You know, it can be pretty full on in these conditions, and safety is paramount.
So there you go. There's the teams and all the skippers. If you have any questions, please feel free to raise a hand. We've got some microphones moving around that we can.
Tom, you've sailed with him a fair bit. I don't think you've ever sailed against him. Will the, and also of course watching Ben's epic 2000, the Olympic gold medal win is an apocryphal story. Will we see a little bit of one-on-one with you and Ben?
We have sailed against each other once in Naples in the AC45, and I think yeah, it's probably the only time I'll ever beat Ben. We got a bit lucky that week, but no, we get along really well, and yeah, I'm always watching for Ben. Well, I'm usually watching because I need to know which way to go, but other than that, I'm looking forward to getting out there and racing with him for sure.
Alan Block, Sailing Anarchy. How many of you have commitments for the Hobart race? Just two? This is a pretty long week of racing, and everyone's out sort of wicking up the boats. Does that interfere with you guys at all in terms of prep for the Hobart race, or is it just not related?
I know for us at Loyal, the last sailing, they're training this weekend, so unfortunately I'll miss that. But Petrol Loyal, we've had a good lead up, and we finished in the big boat day the other day, and unfortunately we didn't have a great race, but I think we're ready to go, and hopefully we get a forecast like this week for the Hobart race. That'll suit us.
No, same here. We did a lot of our training back in NZ and sailed the boat over last week, so most of the preparation's done already, and the boat's out of the water now, so it doesn't really interfere, and yeah, we'll get back into it just a couple of days before it, so it's pretty easy.
There's a question for Morgan and Lee. Gents, my maths is pretty shockingly bad. In the overall scenario, this overall championship, Lee, where do you need to come and where does Morgan need to come?
Well, we've got a win, and Morgan's got to be sixth or worse, so that's quite a margin. Bearing in mind Morgan hasn't finished outside the top three all year, so it's right, isn't it? He hasn't finished outside the top three.
Morgan, would you comment on this, please?
Well, hopefully his math's better than mine. I had one place different, but you know, regardless, it's going to be a tough week. Conditions are going to be right up there, so it's going to be pretty easy to get yourself tangled up or go for a swim and rack up a lot of points. So for us, just going out and trying to win is the goal. And I think we can do that. Use the same ingredients for the same recipe that we've had all season. Should work out.
Okay, just how cool is this whole contest going to be, Morgan?
Well, it's amazing, you know, the fleet, the field, the venue, the conditions. I think about, you know, racing here. It's been, you know, Lee touched on. He started his sailing career back when these guys were winning gold medals here in Sydney. I think the last time I had a successful race right here on the same course, Lee was probably just born, and we were sailing 18-footers. to me, it was the best day of sailing I've ever had. We were the first push to capsize. We were last to the windward mark. We came back and got third in the race. And as we were putting the boat away, licking our wounds, some fellow ran up to us and said, "I won $10,000 on you guys today. I won $4,000 because you were the first to capsize." And this is on the betting ferry. And I see some of the same media here that was back then. And he won another $3,000 because we were last to the weather mark. And then he won another $3,000 because we got third in the race. He gave us half his winnings. We had $5 grand. I had a good night on the town.
Very last question, very quickly, Lee. Is it possible? Can you win this championship your third?
Yeah, anything's possible. Just gonna have to wait and see. And it's windy. We're going to try and keep it safe, but we're going to push hard as well and try and get the win and see how it all pans out.
Rock and roll. Thanks.
So as I said, you can catch up with the skippers individually if you wish shortly after this conference. At 12:15, our technology partners, SAP, will be running a demo to give you an insight into the technology and the analytics associated with the event, and also how the sailors use it from a performance perspective. It's quite interesting and very vital in terms of enhancing performance for the individual and teams over the course of the season. For our media guests in the audience, please see our media team, Nikki or Kenya, to arrange interviews with the teams and to register interest in the media votes on the water for today. But that's it from us, and enjoy the day. It's getting windy as we speak. The breeze is building all the time, and it looks like it's going to be some pretty spectacular and amazing sailing. So welcome and enjoy.